So I'm glad to be here with you to share something about on universal human values. So we have already met, right? On 19th, I am 9th of this month, 2 days back. On Friday, last Friday, I met you. So human values. Every person decides to keep some beliefs. That beliefs brings values along with the system. So based on the born and brought up, and based on background of the culture and societal brought up, humans, they evolve some set of beliefs, some set of meanings. So values are part of that belief system. At the individual level, individual has his own experiences and exposures based on which he come up with his own attitudes towards himself, towards the family, towards the society around, towards the finances, towards the culture, towards the festivals, towards the rituals, towards the whatever the societal facts and realities. So beliefs produces the values. But when human beings reflect on the gaps between reality and the actual happenings, or whatever the beliefs they have, and what are the practical happenings or experience they have. So when they discover the gap and gulf between their experiences with the reality and their imagination or belief system they hold. So every person have some degree of this struggle inside, deep inside. So then people, they come up with questions, they pose questions to the parents, to the teachers. Sir, actually I believe this, but the reality of the society and the practical things that are happening is this. So I find a lot of gaps and the gulfs. So I need some explanation why this is happening. So the other thing is, the other side of human reality is people don't want to do certain things, but they are doing it. But they want to do certain things, but they are not able to do that. So there is a gap between the empirical world and imaginary world. So what you imagine in your thoughts and in your dreams and in your visions, in your goals, but what actually is the real empirical world. So which is verifiable and which is have a reference point. So there is a gaps. So based on the existing gaps between theory and practice, existing gaps between imaginary world and empirical world, between there is a existing gaps between what we learn in the textbooks, but actually what are the demands of the society or in the workplace, we find lots of gaps. So when we, in the process of dealing with these gaps and gulfs, so people have a conflict in their knowledge and their system of beliefs, in their system of values, in their system of attitudes, between the societal prescriptions and actual needed things that we need to design, build and develop on our own based on our situational wisdom, based on the leadership that already inbuilt, because we need to make decisions in every situation, in every occasion. We need to move forward irrespective of the obstacles, irrespective of the problems, irrespective of the pressures, irrespective of the insecurities, uncertainties, and all these human realities. These are all facts. But how we are going to see this real world and the belief system that are passed on from generation to generation, from our forefathers to our grandfathers, and from grandfathers to our parents, from our parents to us, our generation? What are the traditions? What are the beliefs that are passed on? These beliefs and these traditions have a great hold on our thinking, on our priorities, on our preferences, on our action and reaction system, how we think. All this thinking pattern is regulated, controlled by the traditions of the society. So there are some social norms, the guiding rules, the code of conduct of the family, of the institutions, of the society, of the law of the land, or in other words, constitution of the country of which we are citizens. So our thinking, our behavior should conform to the expectations of the code of conduct of the family at a micro level, of the neighborhood at a little broader, at the country level, the constitution, the law of the land provides the code of conduct for its citizens. So, constitutional beliefs, constitutional values provide us the direction and guidance how we should conduct ourselves with the parents, with the neighbors, with the social institutions, judiciary, executive bodies, and the press, and policy making, that is legislative body, and civil society, and all these things, the different religious communities, how we should live together in peaceful social coexistence. So that is where this universal human laws makes the difference, makes the meaning. In that context, because of the plurality of the cultures, because of the plurality of the linguistic backgrounds, because of the plurality of the cultural settings, so multiple belief system. Each culture carries unique traditions, and that tradition is passed on from generation to generation for that particular community of people, for that culture, cultural milieu or cultural context or phenomena. So we as a youth of this country, and we need to understand the moral thickness or the value system of the local cultures or multiple linguistic religious groups of this country, and what are the constitutional values or beliefs, virtues that are prescribed for all the citizens irrespective of the cultural, regional, gender, economic, or beyond all these barriers or boundaries. What are the national level vision for the country? What are the national level standards, prescriptions, sanctions? Sanctions in the sense, if we violate those rules or laws, we are supposed to stand before the judge in the local court or high court or supreme court. We are going to face the judgment or punishment. So that is the kind of seriousness. That's why how the order, discipline, harmony, social peaceful coexistence of different communities with a different belief system. So one religious group brings a set of beliefs, and other religious group people carry some of the beliefs are exactly opposite to the belief system of this one particular group. So one group says you are wrong, the other group says you are wrong, and another religious group comes in between. They say their own belief system are superior. So practicing different religious belief system in the same country, in the same neighborhood, in the same classroom, in the same institution, really it's a more complex thing to bring the unity, to bring the harmony, to save the humanity, to save the innocent people. These beliefs are invented by somebody, these traditions are invented by somebody, these sanctions are invented by somebody, but human freedom, human dignity, human sacredness, human heart for self-respect is in danger. When the plural, different, multiple realities, multiple beliefs, when we expose it to the uncertainties, insecurities, the dangers of the different values, different beliefs, different norms and codes of conduct, and different sanctions or penal codes. Each people group have their own system of judging things and passing the evaluating system, which is right and which is wrong, according to a particular culture, which is good, which is bad, which is evil, which is holy. Each culture has its own definitions. But we are living in the same geographical location, and we are studying in the same educational institution. We are under the umbrella of the same constitution. And how these personal level beliefs and intrapersonal interactions and personal priorities, how they collides with other person's priorities, and one person's privacy, the other person's dignity, how the religions are controlling, how the regionalism, how the different ideologies for the different isms. Some people hold atheism. Some people believe in the non-existence of God. Some people believe in the existence of one God. Some people believe in the existence of multiple gods. And some people don't believe in the existence of God. They believe in the science and technology. They believe in the rationality of humanity. They don't believe. So, for example, Buddhism believes in the non-existence of God. Buddhism believes there is no God. There is no life after death. So, Hinduism believes in multiple gods and goddesses. And there is a life after birth. So, they have their belief. Some Islam, they believe in one God. The Christians they believe in one God. So, some other gurus and babas, they are coming, they are inculcating new belief system, some alterations to the existing, some amalgamation of different religions, taking good from every religion, making a new thing. So that kind of every day something new is coming up, and thousands of followers are emerging, and individuals have the freedom to choose their belief system, their practices, their values, their attitudes, but each belief carries the values, each value carries an attitude, each attitude has its own consequences at the personal health level, economics level, at the personal family level, to build the stronger families, to build the good relationships, to build the prosperous businesses. This belief system controls directly or indirectly. That's why somebody told your belief and your behavior, your belief and your value system go hand in hand, go together. But we are living in an era of science and technological explosion. So science is making its strides and lots of advancement. When technology is coming, tradition is breaking down. Our beliefs, some beliefs, when science proves that earth is like a spherical and wires is no problem. So different beliefs are simply losing their hold on the minds of the particular subscribers of that particular belief or religion. So when science is coming and making things are clear with a lucid and crystal clear clarity about the reality, about the different truths of day-to-day life situation, of the environment, of the body, of the mind, of the neurology, of the invisible vital organs. So when science and technology is helping humanity to make excellent and brilliant advances, then slowly beliefs are in question, tradition is breaking down, at the same time human rationality and reasoning, the questioning power, ask freedom to pose questions and ask for explanations, is enhanced and empowered. At the same time, the Constitution is providing us numerous freedoms and values. So those are the things. On one hand, humanity is blessed by the advancements of science and technology and information age, and globalization is bringing in whatever the country, whatever the people group, whatever the person, whoever invented, whatever the something new which is making progress or benefiting the global humanity. Within no time, the message is spread and people are purchasing the softwares and technology, and they're importing and exporting, and the entire globe became a small classroom. So everybody knows everybody and nothing new. So things are getting faster. Real in this global village or global community, people migrate across the boundaries of the nations for the employment, for accumulating prosperity, creating assets, and to fulfill their high ambitions. They travel across the globe and they learn a lot. They're exposed to global reality of the humanity, the problems of the people in that particular location, and their belief system, how they are affected by their belief system negatively, how they're affected by the attitudes they carry negatively, and what are the lessons that we can learn from that particular people group. So these are the kind of experience and exposures the present generation is undergoing. Our country is in great transition. It is moving towards a transformation. So from poverty to prosperity, from ignorance to wisdom, from darkness to light, from death to life, from lies to truth, our country is making remarkable, significant progress and moving forward, pressing forward, apart from all the obstacles and hindrances and of all the limited prescriptions of the different cultures of the locality. So it has been a when I am trying to understand what is the crime rate of India, what are the suicide rate ranking in the global countries, what is the suicide ranking of our India? It stands in the second rank, second biggest country, where numerous lakhs of suicides are officially registered. And the government records officially registered suicidal incidences. Based on that, our country stands in the second rank in the top. What a dangerous thing is going on. Suicide means it's a personal decision to destroy the personal life. In the crime rate, in the terrorism, 8th position, in the suicides, 2nd position, and in homicide means killing other people, murdering the other people. In murders, it stands in the 4th rank. So, each year, 1 lakh murder cases are registered in this country. Killing themselves, 2nd rank, killing others, 4th rank, terrorism, 8th rank. When I see these realities, you see, but financially we are making significant progress. But where are we going? Financially making progress, but there are around 17 lakhs, some change, of people do not have houses to live in this country. 17 lakhs of people, household. There is 17 lakhs plus houses are need to build for our own Indian citizens. There are footpath dwellers. They sleep on the tracks or the roadsides. Homeless people, our fellow citizens of this country. Where are we going? That's where our personal responsibility to our personal life, our personal responsibility to the neighbors who needs our compassionate attention, our care, our love for them. That's where how to stop suicidal incidences irrespective of the age groups. How to stop homicide or murdering people, how to stop it. How to stop terrorism, how to stop domestic violence, how to stop ethnic conflicts, one religious group fighting with the other religious group, and lack of rest, lack of peace. There is social unrest. Innocent people are being killed. And our country, the different communities, lot of social segregation. Our society is segregated. But the constitutional beliefs, if you see a lemon, if you cut it like a semicircle, then you will see different rooms inside. In the same way, we the Indians are segregated on different lines. And social disparities. Untouchability is crime. According to unsociability, some certain groups are ill-treated, humiliated, maintain distance, or social humiliation undergoing. Some tribals in the forest, they're still waiting for the light to come. They are waiting for the basic amenities of life. They are naked, they need clothes, they need hospitals, they need educational institutions, they need electricity, they need basic amenities like safe drinking water. So our own Indians, our own fellow human beings living in this country need the attention of not only of the government but also of the citizens of the India who are billionaires. So our country could produce noble laureates, lot of medical advancement, scientific advancement. Our country makes a difference in the different countries. Our smart engineers and educated doctors, they migrate to other countries. They're earning lots of money, sending that money back to India. They're establishing some trusts or NGOs to serve the society of the needy humanity. Very few. How many of them? We can count on fingers. How many NRIs, they are doing social service. They are helping the helpless people, hopeless people. So, we need to think about our country. We are receiving blessings, many blessings from our great country. We are enjoying many facilities here. But behind all these comforts, there is a toil, there is a bloodshed, there is visionaries, there is a national level leaders who really worked hard day and night, made their mark, made their services. Significant NGOs and different organizations, they are doing really good things. But we are enjoying, we are receiving. Wow, we have the responsibility of the paying back to the society. We have the great responsibility to think about our generation, who are unfortunate people living in the deep forests or on the slums, or people who are left in the old age homes and nobody is taking care, and or sometimes some people are because of their immoral life, they commit adultery, they get infected with AIDS, and they die, and the children become semi-orphans. Before they die, they spread the disease to different people. So to gratify their sexual desires, they spread without their knowledge, without this dangerous disease to many others. So innocent people are exploited, and the incurable disease are spreading and becoming dangerous to the society, threatening, and people, society, education, without morality, without respect for others' privacy, others' dignity and modesty, without respecting the magnanimity of the others. So, where are we going? Where are we living? So we need to reflect on the present realities. There are a big list of social evils that we see in our society, and we listen to the news, and lot of corruption scandals. And should we flow as a dead fish, or should we swim as a living fish against the flow? What do you say, young people? Are you want to be the victims of the existing culture, or social practices, or social evils, or you want to give a new definition for life? You want to be a meaning keeper or meaning maker? What do you want? So at every level, we need to give a new definition, a new stand, a new benchmark, ultimate standard for life, great vision for the nation, direction, ultimate meaning for entire global humanity. Because we are part of the global humanity, we are part of the local community, we are part of the particular people group or community, we are part of a particular religious group or non-religious group. Whatever the group you come from, whatever the culture you hail from, whatever the family you were born into, irrespective of all these basic backgrounds, you have a great responsibility of defining the life, of giving the new definition for the social relationship, for the economic prosperity, for the giving the beautiful definition for social relations. Otherwise, you will simply suffering, the passive sufferer. You will be the passive sufferer if you are not the active agent in creating the meaning, a beautiful definition for your own life, for your own family. Because tomorrow you are going to build your own family. You admire and aspire for a stronger family, and you don't want a broken relationship or a marital unfaithfulness. So you need values. You need laws. So that is why we human beings, without virtues, without character, we are in danger. That's why somebody told the welfare of the nation lies within the character of the citizen. The welfare of the nation lies within the character of the citizen. At the national level, we formulate policies, but at the individual level, citizens need character, virtues, values, positive attitudes, positive mindsets, positive influence, positive leadership to make the difference, to create the viable environment, not only for survival, but also for the flourishment of our communities. So that's why the Constituent Assembly formulated the drafting committee of the Constitution. The Constitution was framed for India. Constitution of India. It came up with certain values. Every citizen should memorize it and understand the meaning. So, for example, how many of us know the meaning of national anthem? So, how many of us know the Vande Mataram, that meaning? How many of us know the really mean the national pledge? How many of us know the meaning of national flag? See, so the meaning, unless our meaning-seeking competencies are in place, intact, in accurate meanings, or in our memory, registered nicely, then only meaningful relations with ourselves, meaningful relation with others, and meaningful relation with parents and relatives and friends and teachers, and the things or studies, whatever. we do can be achieved. Otherwise, no productivity, no responsibility. Without the meaning, the values will not have any difference. So we should have the meaning of life, and we have already seen to some extent in our life orientation program. And now we want to see the meaning of our constitutional values. What are the universal values? In the sense at the national level, before we go into the other countries or other nations, what are the values they subscribe and they explain to their younger generations and practice in their day-to-day life situations? What are the values of the other countries? What are the global reality of different constitutions of the world? Let us look at our Constitution of India, and somebody help me on changing the slides and the PowerPoint, please. Any volunteer? So, what are the universal human values? Values that are considered the practices or the ideas that are given more value among all the people groups, almost all the people groups, at any given time. So, universal human values. One person, Isaiah Berlin, he has given a definition. The claim for universal values can be understood in two different ways. First, it could be that something has a universal value when everybody finds it valuable. This was Isaiah Berlin's understanding of the term. According to Berlin, universal values are values that a great many human beings in a vast majority of places and situations at almost all times do in fact hold in common, whether consciously and explicitly or as expressed in their behavior. The second thing, something could have universal value when all people have reason to believe it has a value. So, if you say something, everybody should say, yes, this is the most important, this is needed for our personal survival and flourishment and advancement, and the entire community level or social societal level or a global level. This is the virtue and the value we needed. So that is kind of thing. Next. So students' responses on universal human values. In the previous session, I gave you handouts. So to self-discovery questions.